Hello and welcome to Flory Models Kit View Time. Today we've got Hobby 2000's latest release. This is the much anticipated Harrier 1/48 scale GR-7 9 kit. Now this isn't a new kit, this is a rebox of the Hasegawa kit, which in my opinion is the best one that's out there for the GR-7 9. It's a beautiful kit. And again, the great thing about this one is that they've added a few extras, which means you can make pretty much all the different versions of the Harrier's GR-7 and 9 versions from it. So you get both the lyrics, as in the big one, 100%, and the 65% lyrics as well. So, as you can see, normal type of box art on there. We've got the nice profile picture on there. We've got some of the schemes that are available in the kit as well throughout the years. So we've got obviously the one from Harrier as well down in here, and we've got one from Q8, and then obviously we've got some of the retirement schemes as well for the final flight in 2010. You can see a little bit down on here as well. So your kit number for this one is 48190. And again, a little bit of blurb down there on the back. So, in the box, we are greeted by... if I can get in. Here we go. Okay, so we have quite a box full, as you can see, stuff down in here. So we've got it in 2 bags. So as you can see down in here, we've got the 100% lyrics down on this one, which is quite nice. Some of the bags and the bits as well. We've got the clear parts, pretty much standard right the way in there. So unfortunately, the nose front canopy has come off. It should be down in there, just making sure it is in the bag, and it is. We've got the wing sections and the various gun pods. So we've got the Aiden gun pod down there, and we've got the 65% lyrics as well, so it's a nice touch as well. And then down in here, we have our instructions. So down in here, we've got a die-cut mask, which again, very nice indeed. We'll close up look at that in a moment. We've got the decals, looking very, very nice as well. And these are printed by Cartograph, so you know those are going to be absolutely lovely. All right. So what we'll do is we'll start on the old instructions. So it's a pull-out type down in here. We've got all the things. And like we were saying before, nice little touch with this one is that we've got sprue K and we've got J as well. So what that actually means is we get both types of lyrics down in there. So you can make pretty much the entire fleet from the RAF side of things. All right, we've got color callouts down in here. We've got a little detail thing about your mask sets as well, pretty standard. And we've got the pull out type instructions, as you can see just here. So starting on the far side, usual thing, we've got the actual seat going together, and then we've got the cockpit. We've got decals, which are going to make up obviously the panels and all the details down in there like that. We've got this movable system, which I've never known to move in its life, so I won't worry about it, but it is polycapped as well. So again, it's one of those for putting the exhausts down in there and plated. Again, it's a complex area. If you take your time, plenty of dry fit, and I've built this kit many, many times before, and I'll probably build a lot more of them. And this is just one of those areas you want to do, is just to make sure it's absolutely done perfectly first before you commit to glue, because you can save a lot of time and definitely filler by getting that correct. Cockpit front halves going together as well, so we've got those 2 halves, the tug being fitted in the middle. We've got the nose going down in there and the sensors being fitted onto it, and then we've got the cold and the hot exhausts as well being fitted down together as well. Taking time and cleaning those up is done nicely. We've got the blow-in type doors, so these are basically at rest, they sort of hang down, and when it's in power in flight they tend to close up as well. So again, depending on the angle that they're on would depend if they're open or closed. So really the ones on the top, it says here, they're going to be pretty much in the sort of open position on the ground, and then obviously the ones on the lower half, because of gravity, they're going to weigh down and they'll be fine just like that. Putting those all together, and again taking your time and making sure you get a nice fit with those intake sections saves a lot of work. Nozzles, obviously you probably pop them in later, but those ones can go in, and you've got those blast deflectors on the side. Then we've got the outer wing areas as well. So we've got the little winglets on the outside, and then you make your decision on what type you want. So the 100% lyrics is the real smooth one right over the top. The 65 one is the sort of recessed version, the sunk down version of that. Again, check your references to make sure you got your right one down in there. Opening up the holes for the actual wing areas, we've got the refueling probe being fitted. We've got the tails being done onto this one, and then the rear tail planes being fitted as well as those puffer jets down at the rear. Main gear system going onto this one. As always, like we said before, don't glue the nose to the main gear in position. So glue all the other 3 and then put this one in last, and then that way you can guarantee you're going to get all the wheels on the ground, so you don't have a problem with one hovering or it's rocking and things like that. So that's a quick little tip for you down in there. And then over to the other side, you've got the decision to make if you're going to have the little blades, the vanes sticking out, or you're going to go with the Aiden gun pack underneath this one as well, so you can fit those ones in. You do get a couple of sidewinders and fuel tanks, all the other weapons and unfortunately is going to have to come from your spares box. All right, so that's those being fitted down into this one. You have got a decal as well, which actually makes up the deck cord for the inside of the canopy, so you can pop that one in there as well, and then obviously popping that in, and obviously all the fire scoops and air scoops and things and antennas down on the back just like that. Marking wise, as I say, some nice options down in here. We've got one from Telek from 2003 as well, so obviously with a nice shark's mouth on that one. Or we've got obviously the one from Harrier as well from 2008. So I don't know if that's Linda or the other ladies who used to be on. They haven't done the shadow work on this one, it's just the normal ones. And then obviously we got the very nice retirement schemes as well. So we got the sort of I don't know, was that 80s camo with the actual camo on the top and the lighter underside as well, because obviously the retirement scheme they will put in all the different versions. And that is your instructions. Decals, as I said before, some really nice decals down in here. So as you can see, beautifully done right the way through. And again, shark's mouth, nice detail down in there. We've got the nose steps, obviously all the details and various bits and pieces right the way of this one. We've got those blading areas down the back. Again, the actual instrument panel, there's not a lot of great deal going on with it, but it's pretty much what you need down in there. Slime lines, things like that, lights being fitted and everything else. So that's very nice indeed. So we do get a mast set, which is quite nice. It's only externally tight mast, but we've got ones for the wheel. We've got the actual main canopy and front canopy as well. So we've got those ones down in there. Then we have, so standard Hasegawa rebox or rebag, if you like. So you may have seen this kit before. It is a bit of an old and classic now, but it's definitely one of my favourites. So as you can see, if we start over here, we've got the main tops of the wings. Again, recessed details right the way through. Unfortunately, we don't get anything with the actual flaps or the ailerons positionable. They're moulded in the up position, as you can see on there, but you could do a little bit of surgery. We've got those deflector doors down here at the back and the tail planes being fitted down in there. So straightforward jobs on that one. Underside of the wings, again, looking pretty damn smooth all the way through on that one. So that's going to be fitted. And we've got these blades, which are obviously going to fit onto the underside, which just makes a little bit more of a cushion when it's landing and in ground effect. So we got those down in there as well. Then we got a match pair. We got down in here, if I do them this way as well. So you can see we've got a sidewinder, fuel tanks, main gear, nose wheel. We've got the actual door, the main nozzles as well. So you've got the hot and cold nozzles down in here. We've got some of the blades and the various air scoops. We've got some of the outriggers, pylons, another one. And again, with that one, we've actually got two of those being a match pair. And then over with the actual, let's do it this way around. You can see this is those pins. We've got seat cushions, the upfront controller or the UFC. And then obviously we've got all the different little antennas, blades, various things, scoops, got ejection pull handle down there, main gear. We've got the seat detail. Again, very nice on all of those, just like that. Then down in this part, as I say, we've got the tail section. So as you can see, it is a two-piece tail, so you're going to be gluing those halves together. But again, really nice one piece for the outer one here, for the actual rigger. And then say we've got the main pylon. And then down in here, we've actually got the instrument panel. We've got those outer puffer jets that are going to go down. And we've obviously got some nose gear sections down in here. This is that 65% Lyric that we were talking about. Again, really, really nice again. And then obviously cockpit and some of the details. This is the underside panel that fits just under here, because you can see this little section is going to be this being the 65% one. Then we've got the main nose, we've got the aid and gun pack, some more of the pylons, things like that all the way through. So again, as you can see, very nice, very crisp recessed details all the way through. Even though this mould's quite old now, it's standing up absolutely fantastically. Nose section, we've got the rails. I'm not sure if that one's actually used with this particular version. That may be the different version. Okay, over in bag 2, we've got the 100% Lyrics. So this is your 100% Lyrics. As I say, it's smoothed out, goes all the way underneath. So you've got top and parts. This will laminate together. And this is what we were talking about. A really nice touch with this kit is to get both of those in there. So as you can see, we've got the 65% Lyrics and the 100% Lyrics. So that means basically you can do all the versions of the GR7 and 9, because again, pretty much all the 9s I think were 100%, but obviously with the GR7, some of them were 65, some of them were 100, but again, it just gives you that option now to do both. If you were like me down in the 90s and early 2000s, you used to have to buy an aftermarket resin Lyrics, 100% Lyrics to do this, or get hold of 2 kits. There we go, that takes care of that. Then we got the nose section, which you can see down in here. And then we've got the canopy, we've got the speed brake down the back, we've got the front flap area, obviously, which comes down off the nose gear to sort of make that cushion skirt underneath. We've got the actual refueling probe and the other half as well. There's pretty much nothing on the inside of these, just a little bit of detail of framework. Fuselage halves. So again, this way you get a nice look, some really nice details in here, but you get a little bit of the complexity of this going together. So this is your belly plate, and it's going to go down into here. So it's not so bad if you've got the gun packs fitted and things like that, because luckily it hides this seam. But if you're not, then you just have to make sure that's done very, very nicely. So again, this is the little recess for that front little skirt area that then deploys with the nose gear. And then obviously you've got the tail wheel down the back. But there we go, that's that one. And then the other side, we've got pretty much the same thing, but we've got the blades at the front. So we've got those front stage of the compressor blades. We've got those intakes, and obviously this is what we're talking about. This is the lower half with the doors closed. Top half, obviously, they are all open. Cockpit tub as well. Again, you've got decals, but you have got a little bit of detail down in there if you wanted to hand paint and go with that one. So that's quite nice. And then we've got the other half as well. So this is pretty much a match pair to the other side. This is those blow-in doors all down in here. And again, we've got some of the overhead combing nose gear door, I think that is, and then some obviously blades down in here for the tailplanes being fitted on. Okay, so if we just look at the clear parts, so we've got the clear parts just down in here to finish up with. So again, Hasegawa, normally very nice. We've got some polycaps down in here. The polycaps basically is just for holding the nozzles in, so you can rotate all of those. We've got the front screen, which again does have a very, very fine center seam, but a couple of swipes of the sanding stick takes care of that, no problem at all. Then we've actually got the main glass work, and as you can see, lots of stuff obviously for the HUD glass. We've got various things for lights and those types of things right the way through on this particular one. And then again, we've got the main canopy, which again has a very, very fine center seam down in there, but again, it's very, very fine. I've built this kit many, many times, and you can easily just pop in there with a sander, get rid of that, and nobody would know it was ever there. There you have it. I've been waiting for this kit for a long, long time, I'll be honest with you, because it's really difficult to get hold of. Let's face it, Hasegawa redid, did the original boxing. And then obviously we've seen reboxes by Revell back in the day, and that was quite a nice one. They did it in the Navy scheme. That one came along, and then both of those dried up. Then we had the Edard, did one of their limited edition boxings of it, which again, very nice, and that had all the goodies in with it as well. And then nothing. It's actually really, really difficult to get hold of this kit. But what's the problem is, normally if you buy the GR7 or GR9 kit, it just comes with one type to Lyrics, so you can't really do a different version of it. So if you're looking through squadron markings and you decide you wanted to do a version, like for instance in here it does come with 3 versions, 2 of them use 100% Lyrics, 1 of them uses 65%. If you had the wrong one, it'd be no good. So it's actually one of those definitive kits that you can get hold of and just have in your stash, because you've got all your background or all your bases covered for any type of GR sort of 7 or 9 Harrier you might want to do in the future. And again, there's some great retirement schemes with it. There's lots of aftermarket decals as well, but straight off the bat, that's actually really, really nice. So there we go, that's the Hobby 2000, which is imported by Tiger Hobbies as well, for the Harrier GR-7 9 in 48 scale.